Hey, I'm Nick Rollo. I'm a pop producer and mixing engineer from Australia. Welcome to my channel. A long time ago, I was subscribed to Antares Autotune Unlimited. I think it was called it back then. This had a bunch of plugins, including autotune and these effects. One of these effects, the harmony engine, I really gravitated towards when I used it, and I thought it was sick. And then at some point I stopped subscribing because, I don't know, money was an issue, and I kind of forgot about it until recently. Antares recently reached out and offered me some of their plugins to try and make some videos for, which I am doing. And I wanted to jump into Harmony Engine because after re-stumbling across it, it is an awesome piece of software, and I think it's really, really underrated. I think if you want any kind of harmonies and you can't be bothered making them yourselves, or you want like a vocoder kind of effect, I reckon this plugin's for you. There is a link in the description to be able to get Autotune Unlimited, their subscription. There's a producer one and then the unlimited one. The link below, you can get a 14-day free trial, so you don't have to pay anything. It is an affiliate link, so I will get a small percentage, but I actually love their products. I've been using Autotune for a long time, I just haven't been using their other effects, but I will be using their other effects now that I have them. Anyway, let's jump into the video. If you find this helpful and enjoyable, hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. Comment below what kind of videos you want to see, any plugins you want reviewed, or any techniques you want dissected, I guess. Bear with me, I've only been using Harmony Engine for approximately 30 minutes this morning, so this is an exploratory video where we get to enjoy it together. Let's jump in. Alright, so we're working with this. I've turned off my face because I can't be bothered putting the camera on my desk because I have to take it off the tripod, so lucky you don't have to see it, you just get to see the screen. This is what we're working with today. This is a song that I wrote ages back and I gave up on it. I don't really think it's particularly good, but it is a fantastic opportunity to show you Harmony Engine.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying, I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now? Baby, I don't feel right. Baby, I don't feel right. Baby, I don't.
You get the idea. I should actually throw in the new autotune just to kind of put it into perspective, because the one that I've been using prior to this, the UAD purchase of it, this works with the UAD interface really nicely because you can use it to monitor and record in. Not that I ever do, but it's quite old. This one's quite new, so why don't we just copy everything across. C major, retune speed of 22, flex tune, ooh, I don't even understand this knob. I reckon we do like 50, humanize 67, tracking 42. Let's compare.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying, I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now? Baby, I don't feel right. Baby, I don't feel right.
Fun.
Baby, I don't.
Oh, you can get like a natural chorus with it. Very cool. That's not the star of this show. We'll turn this off. Gets rid of my DSP usage. What I would like to use for this video is the Harmony Engine, which looks like this. And when you load it up, I think it has, scale, key, and root. I wonder if that's based off the auto-tune that's here, or if that's just like what it defaults to. Not entirely sure. This is also a mono track. Note that when it's in mono, which is this little thing here, we don't have any pan control. But when we click this, all of a sudden the panning becomes available. And to be honest, I think the panning adds a lot because it really creates like a stereo kind of choir sort of feel to it. So I think if you can keep it in stereo, it's worth it.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying, I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now? Baby, I don't feel right. I'm stressing out, I'm worrying, I don't know how I got so deep in this.
Anyway, you can play around with these harmony sources. So obviously there's fixed interval, scale interval, chord degrees, and all of that stuff. What I remember it being fantastic as was the chord via MIDI. So we're going to do that. And in Studio One, this is how I route it. It's probably similar in other DAWs, but slightly different. So first off, I made an instrument channel. You can just press T and then instrument, and I did Vox Run for whatever reason, even though this should be called like Harmony MIDI. And then I grabbed MIDI from Serum and I chucked it on this channel. Next, what we need to do is solo it if we're soloing the vocal, and I've got this little eye here. Click that, shows you the ins and outs. Click out and Harmony Engine.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now, baby? I don't feel right.
And there's a bunch of different options we can use here. If we click these, there's this throat length. Maybe I'll do this with one. So this is a really easy way to just kind of make it feel like there's actually different voices, because they'll have different kind of, I'm going to say, levels of harshness is kind of the way that I would look at it. It's obviously, it's more like formant controlled than anything, but if it's down here, it's a little bit harsher than if it was up here. Case in point. Yeah, it's a formant, but less harsh. Harsh is how I kind of think of this. So my understanding of how this is working is it's just sort of taking the notes. So right now I'm getting 3 notes, and if I jump into the actual chord chart, there's 3 different notes. So I'm pretty sure how this works is it's using, it's just splitting out the notes into different voices, which is really cool. I mean, maybe that's not exactly how it's working, but that is my understanding from this kind of brief little mess around, I suppose. A really easy way to change how it sounds is to change the octave. Okay, so after a little bit of playing, you can get more interesting stuff using the MIDI Omni and I assume MIDI channels. Chord via MIDI just gives it a chord that then it kind of maps out to, so you can't actually control the pitch. With MIDI Omni, it seems like we can.
I'm stressing out. I'm stressing out. I'm stressing out. I'm worrying.
Yeah, you get the idea. So it's pretty cool. I kind of like using this as sort of a vocoder, but you can also use it as just making harmonies and try to keep it natural.
I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help?
This is fun. So we're discovering it together. So if we're on the chord via MIDI, which I think actually kind of works the best, basically my understanding now is it's grabbing the chords from here and it's saying, okay, that's an F, but autotune software is actually picking that up rather than Studio One. Then it's splitting out those chords into 3 notes or 4 notes, depending if it has like a 4th note in it, and it's splitting it out into these channels. So we have this thing here called spread and register.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this.
I'm not entirely sure what that's doing exactly, but it's certainly playing around with the notes and like how they feel. Maybe that's, I guess it must be how far apart these are. So it's probably putting, say, like this note here up an octave or down an octave or dropping it into an inversion. And then the register is just pulling the whole thing up or down, I think.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this.
So there's a bit of there's a few different ways that it's kind of doing a similar thing. Again, I'm kind of figuring this out all on the spot. I don't actually know what's happening, but to my ear, that is what's going on, which is quite cool.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now, baby? I don't feel right.
Also cool, it kind of has a chorus effect. You can change the timing, the pitch, the vibrato.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out.
Pretty cool. The way that I would probably recommend using this plugin is to duplicate the file. So if this is the chorus lead vocal, what I would do is I'd click duplicate track completed, or I'd render it down, and then I would put Harmony Engine on, and I would remove the first vocal. So this is like my main vocal without the Harmony Engine processing.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying.
Oh, that goes through the choir as well. That's funny.
I'm stressing out.
Oh, okay, input puts it through that. Cool. I would remove that, and then I would have a dry vocal and also then the Harmony Engine by itself, so you can EQ it and process it by itself. I just think that would make the most sense in this kind of scenario. But yeah, you can get some really cool effects here.
I'm stressing out, I'm worrying. I don't know how I got so deep in this. I'm freaking out and I'm screaming loud. Can you help me now? Baby, I don't feel right.
And if you do it this way where you split it out, you can have your main vocal in mono if it was actually recorded in mono, and then you can have the Harmony Engine in stereo. Not that it's probably a massive issue to have them both in stereo if they were mono, but you know, just for kind of cohesion's sake, let's say, I think it makes sense to do that. But yeah, I know this kind of review tutorial hasn't been particularly it hasn't been crazy insightful, I know that, but it's really fun, and I think it's sick. I'll dive in a little bit further, I think, over the coming weeks, and I'll make an actual tutorial, I guess, on this plugin in particular, because I think it's got a lot of uses. I think it's really fun, and it's a really easy way to, at the very least, just plot out harmonies, and then you can record them after the fact, which is a really kind of interesting way to use an engine like this. Some people find it hard to write harmonies, so I think a piece of software like this is a really useful tool in your toolkit. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm just being like, please go and click the affiliate link and pay me money. I thought this plugin was probably one of the better harmony vocoder plugins that I had seen before, and I stand by it. I think it's dope. I would recommend it. There's a link below if you want to get your hands on it. You can trial it out for 14 days. Yeah, if you use Studio One as well, there's a link in my description to go and download some free presets. I've made like a free vocal preset. I've made a drum bus preset, which I think is maybe $5. You don't have to buy that one. That one's just there if you feel like supporting the channel. There's also a vibe chain, which has a bunch of macros. Pretty vibey, if you ask me. Yeah, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.